And so when I'm pronouncing the word strategy, I usually slow down and I say strategy. I don't go strategy because I can mess it up. Okay. So know yourself. If you know a particular word that you do not pronounce correctly or you don't pronounce well, go to Google. Listen, go to Google and type in the pronunciation of the word entrepreneur. Yes, I took a class last week and I had to ask them to do this. So when they came to me and said entrepreneur, I'm like, Jesus, right? So go on Google and research the sound of the word that you're struggling with. Do it for your own sake, and then put in as many words into that Google. Put in as many words. You will see an icon that has like a sound. It will tell you what it should sound like the proper way. Repeat that sound over and over again so you can get that word correctly. Okay. Working with pitch, tone, and all of that comes with practice when you're in a public speaking class. All right. Now let's go to content. Your content is actually what you say and how you structure your speech. Listen, let me give you a quick formula. If you're ready for the quick formula, say I am ready. Type I am ready in chat real quick. Type I'm ready in chat real quick. I'm trying to keep this at maybe a max of 8, 10, so that I can stick with the time I was given. I'm trying to keep this. So type in chat, I am ready. I am ready. If you're ready for me to give you a quick structure that you can use to prepare your presentations, type I am ready.
Yeah, there are a lot of responses. I am ready, I am ready, I'm ready.
Thank you, Munachi. Good. When a very simple formula that you can use whenever you want to speak in public, a very simple formula is the first thing you do is you say, what interesting thing can I start with? What interesting thing can I start with to get my audience's attention? Remember when I started by sharing with you a story. Before the story, I shared a quote and I said, there is nobody who is successful who had their mouths shut. I repeated that like 2 times. And then I went into the story of Yomi, who got a job, who went for a job interview, passed, but eventually stood in front of his audience and he couldn't say a word, right? This is the same thing that you want to follow. You want to follow the same pattern. You want to start with something interesting that will get your audience's attention. Because if you don't have your audience's attention, you are having a morning devotion. Well, if it's nice, if you're having that conversation at night, it's a night devotion, right? Or if it's afternoon, then it's afternoon. So start with something that will get your audience's attention. But listen, whatever you start with has to be relevant to the topic that you are about to teach them. Do you see how the story I shared with you was relevant with the topic I'm about to teach you? I didn't tell you a story about how a pregnant woman tried to have a baby and how, as she was struggling, she shouted, whoa, 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 and the baby came out, wow, wow, wow. I didn't tell you a completely irrelevant story. I mean, I have lots of those. I could even tell you my own personal birth story. Do you see this? So start with something, and let me give you an easy way out. You can start with a story. A lot of people come to me and they say, oh, Adeola, I work in a corporate organization. How am I going to start with a story? Imagine me talking to my boss and saying, hello, boss. On a hot sunny day, I was coming to work and a car just hit me. Suddenly, the moon came down. I'm like, no, 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 please, they may sack you. So if you're working in an organization, you can go the route of statistics. You can go the route of statistics, or you can refer to something that happened in the company before that day. So you can say, oh, okay, we're having a meeting about increasing revenue. And you say, based on what we did last week, based on what we did last week, based on what we did last year, 20% of our revenue came from the online platform and the other 80% came from TikTok. So we really need to focus on TikTok. Do you see? You're using statistics, right, to lead, to start that conversation. So you can start with a story, you can start with a statistic, or you can start with a quote.
I can't hear you, Ma.
You can't hear me? You can't hear me anymore?
We can hear you well. I can hear you from my
Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you now, Ma.
Okay, my apologies. I think, don't worry, I'll try. The weather is changing, so I'm suspecting that the weather is changing, so things are it will most likely affect the internet. But I'll try to be quick so that we can get the most out of this. Okay, but you can hear me now, right?
Yes, Ma. Yes.
Excellent, excellent. So you want to start with a story Start with a story, start with a statistic, or start with a quote. There is more, but I'll leave you with those three. Okay? There is so much more. I'll leave you with those three. Now, when you're done starting, when you have started, then you go into the body of your presentation. Listen, simplify the body of your presentation and say, I would like to share three things with you. Today, I'm going to talk about three things. Now, what I'm doing in this session, today, I'm talking about 4 pillars of public speaking. 4 pillars. Keep it simple. If you share with them 48 things, 10 things, you will lose your audience because people have short attention spans. And it's getting shorter now that everybody's on social media. We're all constantly scrolling on Instagram, LinkedIn, we're everywhere. WhatsApp, TikTok, Twitter. Attention spans are getting shorter. So do not flood your audience with points. Tell them, give them something interesting to get their attention and say, I'm going to be sharing 3 ways to do this. I'm going to be focusing on 3 things you need to know today. Okay? You take those 3 things and then you talk to them about those 3 things. A bonus tip here is when you're sharing those 3 things, when you share each one, attach a story to each one. I can't expand on this because we don't have so much. But when you take each of those things, when you take each of those pillars, so for example, you say, I'm going to talk to you about how to live healthy. Number one, you say eat well. Eat a balanced diet. Number two, you say sleep well. And number two, you say hydrate. When you talk about eat well, tell them a story about somebody who wasn't eating balanced diets and what happened to them. When you tell them about sleeping well, tell them about how you change your sleep pattern and how it improved your health. When you talk about hydrating, tell them, share an experience about hydration and how it changed somebody's life. I hope you get this. Do you get it? Please, if you get it, just say, I get it in chat real quick. If you get it, just say, I get it. Okay? In chat. Munachi, please let me know if they're responding. I get it in chat. If you get it. So you start with something, you start with your opening, something powerful, a story, a statistic, or a quote, and then you go into the body. You keep it simple. Yes, Munachi, what are they saying?
Yeah, they're saying I get it, I get it, I get
Excellent,
it.
excellent. So you just go in with 3 things, and then those 3 things, you see, I'm going to share just these 3 things with them, and then you support each of your points. You talk about healthy, balanced diet. You support it with a story. You talk about what's it called, hydration. Support it with a story. You talk about sleep and support it with a story, and you end with a quote. You can end with the quote you started with. This is a simple structure. You can end with the quote you started with, or you can end with another quote and say, finally, ladies and gentlemen, living healthy is not just to keep you looking beautiful and young. Living healthy is to give you a great quality of life. Like you can do whatever you want with it, but you can end with the same quote or you can end with a different quote. But you start with something interesting. You share 3 points. When you share your 3 points, you give them, you attach stories to them, and you end with another quote. All right, let's move on now. And I think I have touched on your content. I have touched on your content by just sharing that with you. And so I'm going to move on now to your body language and how you look. I shared a story when I started about Mr. A and Mr. C. And I talked about how Mr. B and Mr. C rather, and I talked about how Mr. B would wear like a jacket. I always love to wear jackets, don't mind me. And I talked about how he loves to wear jackets, and then he'll keep his white shirt and his ties in the office, and the other guy would just go with like, yeah, this short sleeve things, and he just go with his his pants, his cargo pants. Listen, we are human beings. If you want to eat something and it doesn't look appetizing, chances that you will eat it are very slim. We eat with our eyes as well as with our taste buds, but we eat with our eyes first, right? We are human beings. And that is why we have what we call plating. And that is why there's such a huge industry around fashion and beauty and makeup. We human beings, you have to put yourself together. Whether you are in your early stages or you are in your middle stage or you're in the late stage of your career, you have to give yourself an advantage by showing up in a certain way whenever you want to speak to people. Give yourself an advantage. And when you look good, you feel good. right? When you look good, you feel good. So dress the part. That's what I'm saying essentially. Dress well. Look put together. And I'm sure you know what that means and what that looks like. Now let me move away from dress well. Let's talk about body language. Now, your body language can convince us that you believe what you're saying or you don't believe what you're saying. Imagine if someone came to tell you and the person says, I love you now. Ah, I love you. Will you really believe that the person loves you? Somebody comes to you and goes, "Ah, Florence, I love you. Queen, I love you. I love you. I hope you're seeing my face. I love you. I love you." Would you believe it? Would you believe it? Chibuzo, I love you now. Ah, I love you. Would you believe it? Tell me. How many yeses are in chat? Bonachi, how many yeses are in chat? Yeah, Florence says no, I won't believe it. Why won't you believe it? Why won't you believe it? Tell me. But the person loves you now. Why won't you
Yeah,
believe it?
they are saying no, 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 no.
Why? Why? I want to know why. The person is saying I love you. The person has said I love you. Why won't you believe it? I love you. I love you now.
They say look. They say because of body language. Someone say looks unserious.
Yes, because of body language and looking on serious. So if you come to me and you're just like, yeah, I love you, I love you, I love you, people are watching your body language. Let me give you a simple trick to improve your confidence when you're speaking. Excuse me. Before you speak, go and stand by a wall. Stand parallel. So let your head, the back of your head, touch the wall. Tilt your shoulders back as though you're chesting out, as we usually would do when they tell us to chest out in school. Chest out and let the back of your shoulders touch the wall. Let the back of the upper part of your butt touch the wall. Spread your legs apart just a little bit and let the back of your legs, your heels, let them touch the wall. So you're standing upright and you have an upright posture on the wall. And then you walk forward that way. You see, when you walk forward that way, you assume a confident posture. This allows you to look and feel confident because there's a connection between our bodies and our minds. If you go in like this, all slumped and bent over, your mind will begin to read, okay, we're not confident in this moment. There are things that we need to hide. People are better than us. Your mind will begin to give all sorts of different interpretations. So you want to walk with your head high. You want to really, really present yourself. So use that confident posture where you're leaning against the wall, you're standing against the wall. The back of your head, remember, write that down. The back of your shoulders. Make sure you're chesting or you're putting your chest out. Okay, the back of your shoulders, the upper part of your butt, and your heel are parallel to the wall, and then you walk forward that way. This way, you appear more confident, and you're sending a signal to your body that we are more confident at this time. Okay, I have to run. Now, another simple way, I want to tell you one of the simple ways you can uh, improve your public speaking because everybody's always saying things like, oh, I don't have a platform. I don't have a platform. I don't know. Nobody's inviting me for speaking engagements. Listen, in 2011, I was part of the people teaching 6-year-olds in children's church. I was teaching children. And if your stories are not interesting, children are going to switch off. They don't have, children don't have any filter. They'll just walk away or they'll just lose interest. They'll just turn away and start doing stuff. So I had to learn the hard way. I'm like, if I don't engage these children, they won't even have mercy. They won't say, okay, let's be kind, let's be a bit nice, let's act like what she's saying. It's making sense. They'll just turn away. So, because I was teaching them, it gave me an opportunity to fine tune my teaching and my speaking skills, my storytelling skills. What I'm saying in essence is if you have any opportunity to teach, to speak, to train, do debates, anchor events or session, moderate panels, your answer should be a humongous yes. I know you've heard the phrase "do it afraid" a million times, and it sounds like cliche. It's cliche because it's true. Say yes. Because if you don't say yes, you're not giving yourself opportunities to improve your speaking. So say yes to volunteering opportunities, particularly for those of you who are just starting. Say yes to any platform that helps you grow. Anybody says who would like to take this meeting for today? Say yes. Who would like to speak to us today? Say yes. Who would like to trade? Say just say yes. It pushes you out there and helps you get your reps in. It helps you practice without necessarily having a platform. I hope you get this. I hope you get this. If I knew this thing, like many years when I was in university, I would have done a lot more volunteering and a lot more speaking opportunities, a lot more speaking engagements while I was, in my early 20s. I would have done a lot more, right? And I'm pushing my children to do a lot more now. Okay, my son became the head boy because he didn't even tell me. If he had told me, maybe I would have prepared him. The guy went there and just did his thing. He said yes. So say yes and become a leader. Okay, now there is another thing that I need you to pay attention to, and it is your vocabulary. It is your vocabulary. See, one of the reasons people don't want to speak is because they don't want people to discover that they aren't as intelligent as people once thought they were. So people are like, okay, you know what? If I keep quiet, nobody's going to know I'm this. I don't want to use bad words, but if I keep quiet, nobody's going to know my level of intelligence. They'll just assume that I'm intelligent since I come across as somebody who knows what I'm doing and what I'm saying. But if I open my mouth, then they go like, "Oh my God, she doesn't even really know much," or "He doesn't even really know much." Yeah. So people don't want to talk because they fear that people are going to judge them and say, "Oh, you didn't even know as much." So one of the things you want to do to expand your vocabulary and your knowledge is invest in books. When I started my career in 2012, my friend, or maybe in 2009/2010, my friend and I joined a book club. In this book club, we put our monies together. They will bring 2 books per week to our office. I'll take a book, she will take a book. We'll both read those books. At the end of the week, they will come collect those 2 books and give us another 2. Every week we'll read 2 books, return it, read 2 books, return it. And we're doing that for months, God knows how long. Right? And this was expanding our vocabulary and it was expanding our knowledge. If you don't have anything upstairs, if your vocabulary is shallow, you are going to struggle because you will see other people speaking so eloquently. They're using words that you don't understand. They're saying so many things about so many subjects, and you're wondering, how do these guys know all these things? They read, they invest in books. So take some time off social media and say, you know what, I'm going to read a book a week. Whatever it is you can fit into your schedule, fit that in. Okay. And finally, I'm going to say be intentional about articulation. Number one, I know I've talked a bit about this, but number one, you need to be aware of your pronunciations. We talked about that. Be aware of how you pronounce and have a goal. Tell yourself, I'm going to write out the words I pronounce wrongly, about 10 of them. I'm going to work on myself. And my goal is by the end of June or by the end of May, I'll be pronouncing those words correctly. Okay, and practice. You can get a model. So you can look at somebody online who speaks the way you like, and you can begin to speak after, you can begin to repeat after that person so you can get on their level and begin to speak like them. Okay. And remember, any wrong pronunciation you have, fix it. Google the sound, repeat after your sound, get it, repeat it over and over again. Write down the words you're struggling with. Give yourself a target. Say, by the end of this thing, by the end of May, I'm going to have fixed this and that. Be intentional about your articulation. People have paid coaches, people have done all sorts of things so they could improve their articulation. Whether you are 17, 19, 40, or 78, you can still do it. Okay? So let's do that. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, once again, no successful person in life kept their mouths shut. Unleash your voice and change your world. Thank you so much for listening to me tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so kindly. Please, let's put in the comment box our appreciation. Just give her a round of applause. The emoji. How are you feeling now, people? What's your energy like? I am pumped. So I can see so much in, there's just so much for me. I have learned so much today, and there's so much work as well. Done. I'm sure you too. It's like a mirror has been put before you and you are gauging. I heard the word entrepreneur. I have so much work to do. Feeling, guys. What do you think? Just share with me in the comment box. What do you think? Thank you. Thank you so much. God bless you. It has been so valuable. So valuable. And I believe that you took notes. I was just writing. Yes, your mindset, your identity, your voice, how you sound. Do you know there was a time I didn't even like the way I sounded? I stand before the mirror. I will repeat myself over and over again. And of course, I am a work in progress. And the oh, thank you so much, Lady Adeola. This has been wonderful. This has been beautiful.